have the advantage of having come from a very poor family and having been brought up in a favela on the outskirts of Sao Paulo. One of the things about poverty, it has a lot to do with culture, with vision, with the way of finding your place in the world around you. If I can point out an essential part of art that touches society, is the fact that you're always trying to let people look at the world in a different way. And when you do that, you develop discernment and things change. And all of a sudden, you start, thinking of a world that's much bigger than just survival and existence. And I'm a living example of this. And I was supposed to be bound to live in a small house in poverty in this city, somewhere I live life fully. I have the best job in the world. I conducted this experiment. I worked with a group of people they had no contact with art whatsoever, and working with a material that was very common to them, but also had no visual appeal, they developed an art project. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that it would get to what it did. They managed to do art to a level that it was emotionally engaging, and it changed the way they thought not only about themselves and what they were doing, but about the world around them. And so I started realizing the potential of my public after doing a stand, and I started making art for everybody. I work in several social projects at the moment, and that's one of the reasons I keep my sanity. Working in a country like Brazil, which you have a lot of economic contrast. When you know that you're doing something that actually is impacting other people, it feels really good. The thing that I like to do the most is to have that feeling that you're being a positive part in the gears of society. The way I see it, and it's something that's been a keen interest of mine, is that most of the world's problems today converge into a single issue, which is education. If you educate people to be citizens, if you educate them to be part of a society, if you just don't educate them to be mere consumers, to be better human beings, you get a society that's fair, wealth is better distributed. We are having social problems now in Brazil that have to do with the lack of cultural options. People, like 3,000 kids go into a shopping mall, and that's supposed to be a problem. But you have to understand that the problem is much bigger. They don't have anywhere else to go. I think this is the most important and probably the most significant way in which an artist can impact the society, is by creating a diversion. It's like how can you actually, make people see things where they're just in front of them and they could not see it, and you just say, look what you can do with this, because everything becomes pure potential then. And in art, anything is possible.